Guys, what's happening? Welcome back to the 33rd. That's right, isn't it, Conor? 33rd?
Yeah,
33rd episode?
33rd.
33rd episode of the Two Brits, One Yank podcast. Where do I go with this? It's been such a while since I've done the intro.
We did last time, no? No, no.
No, it was Conor.
We were laughing at each other
Oh
the
You
entire
yeah.
remember
time.
we were laughing?
Bro,
Guys,
there's a
welcome
sun
back.
behind you. I just realised. It's like you got a fake sun behind you with the light.
Yeah, bro,
It's just
it's the
shining.
light.
Bro,
Yeah, this
move
is.
that big head over a little bit and cover it.
No, bro, don't start. That's crazy. Don't be doing that on pause. That's crazy. You've waited to say that until we went live as well.
Nah, to be honest, I wasn't even, I didn't notice until Soul said it, but, the opportunity presented itself and that head is still massive. So, yeah.
That's facts. That's facts. Hey, but
Where's
it looks
your?
like a bit of a slimmer face though.
Hell yeah. Hey man, that's pre-season for you boys.
Yeah. How you getting
Pre-season.
on? First game tomorrow.
Ah, yeah, yeah. So excited, man. Yeah, so excited. I wasn't involved last week, obviously for precaution and stuff. Just obviously it was my first week back. But I've had good weeks of training and super boys, I'm so excited. Like super pumped for tomorrow. Like having that. You probably had it as well, Connor, when you was obviously out injured and stuff. I suppose we all have it, but that match day feeling is gonna hit different tomorrow morning, man. I'm so excited. So
Facts.
Yeah.
excited.
Who are you playing?
Longford. So there's two games and it's mixed team. So I'm in the afternoon match and then a few of the boys will play in the morning match against Waterford. But
That's a bit weird how you play a team in pre-season that are in your league.
yes. Yeah, no, to be fair, it's the
Happened on
first time
the
I've actually yeah, it's the first time I've done that now. We often play like I remember one year at Rovers we went on a pre-season tour to Portugal and we played like teams from Sweden and stuff. That was pretty cool. But the other pre-seasons I've had, they've all been against teams in the other division, so this would be a little bit different. But like, I'm not playing that game tomorrow anyway. But yeah, like I said, just to have that match day feeling, man, I'm so excited. Been a good week of training, body feels good,
Nice.
mind feels good, just super super excited, man. I can't tell you, I'm buzzing, so buzzing.
How long is it till you actually kick off the season?
We have the President's Cup on the 7th. That's against Drogheda. Obviously, it's similar to the Community Shield. Like, so the winners would then play the winners of the cup. Obviously, Drogheda winning the cup. So we play them on the 7th. And then,
At the Aviva or no? They just do like your.
no, I believe that's at Toker Park at our stadium because we won the league. We have it. We have not the rights, but it's at our stadium. And then the following Friday is the big one, is the first game of the season against Derry. So yeah, that's
Last
what all
season.
this. I was like, yeah, 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 yeah. And
Yeah.
that's going to be good, man. They've recruited well and stuff, so it's going to be a good game for sure, 100%.
The nice thing for you, like versus when I was coming back from a while out, it's everyone's first game in, at least a month.
Hmm.
So that
Hmm.
is one thing like that you can have peace of mind with, like, oh, you'll probably be feeling it during the match and after.
Hmm.
You know that everyone on the pitch has the same.
Yeah, of course.
So that's
Yeah,
nice.
of course. Yeah, I think they played. They obviously played last week as well, but we're all in the sort. I trained last week as well, so it's not like it was just the game that I sort of missed. So we're all sort of in the same boat and stuff. But
How was your
yeah,
session back? Like, how did
first
you feel
session back.
technically and stuff? Did you feel a bit rusty?
Bro, I swear on my like, yeah, I did feel rusty, but it was more so like I said on pod last week. It was just where my body hasn't done that intensity in such a long time, like the aches and pains that you get after it, and especially with it being pre-season, like bloody boots were too tight for one. So I wore those new Predators. They were way too tight.
Like, we got to
My
say this
toe,
now, actually. We're meant to be doing this at 4 o'clock. It is 4 o'clock now, but then Boney rang us an hour early and said, "Yeah, I've got to go out and get some boot stretchers." So we can get
literally,
now.
Not only that,
literally,
we were gonna potentially do Wednesday. He said,
this is
"Oh, you
crazy.
know what? Like, we'll just do Thursday." Tells us on Wednesday, "Oh, I have a haircut Thursday." Okay, no problem. We'll do Friday. Boys, could we push it later, like 3 or 4? And yeah, no worries. At 3 o'clock. Oh, boys, could we do it sooner rather than later? Just because I have to get my boot stretchers. I'm like, oh yeah, let's all cater to Sam Bone here. Let's all cater to Boney here, bro. We have
Hang on
two
a minute.
lives as well, bro.
We're
Hang on a minute.
underappreciated this pod, man. It's
That's
so
Hang on a minute.
facts.
Soul turned up late. Connor was saying, I need to eat. I need to eat so I can't do this evening.
This
Brother,
no,
we all
No,
had
he weren't. No, he
no. I'm
weren't.
going to the gym, and Tops' family will be home, so the house won't be free to do a pod in the living room.
And
so
we've
you
locked Ruby. We've locked Ruby just outside, and we can hear her crying already. So
yeah.
Ruby,
hopefully, Tom said he finds out when he listens to this pod.
Ruby knows I'm ruthless with it. I'll let her stay out there. Everyone else is so nice to Ruby. I took her on her little walk today. That's all she gets. I get maybe a little treat in there as well, but that's it, Ruby. You're staying out there while this pod's.
Any listeners, please do not report us to the RSP.
I was
RSP.
gonna say, Auntie Debs wouldn't be happy, man. You need to take a doggy daycare. I'll shout that out 2 weeks in a row.
For 35 minutes. I've been with her all day. You've been here
True.
35.
True, but no, going back, boys, I just don't know where we went there. But no, that's literally all it is. I had to just get some boot stretches because, like I said, my toes were in bits last week, and it was like minus temperatures as well. So that was a nightmare. But apart from that, we
Just
were doing
return the boots.
rondos.
Yeah.
What's that?
Buy new boots and return the boots. Put a hole through them and return them.
What?
It's a
Bros,
good
a new
show.
man on pod. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
yeah, it's a good idea.
And
That's
especially Adidas Predators because
That's
and I'm
what
gonna say
happened
this
to
on
your
pod.
Skechers,
Hey,
yeah?
I'm gonna say this on pod as well. Especially Adidas Predators because I was meant to be the TikTok was starting to take off a little bit. Adidas were helping me out, and someone messaged me saying, "Oh, you know what? We're gonna send you some boots from a guy from Adidas," and I was like, "Oh, I was gassed. I was gassed."
You're essential.
I'm gonna tell too many people, and then it got to a week, and I said, "I've got no boots at the moment, so I need to get a pair of boots." Got some vapors. It's going well. It's going well. The line's gone dead. The line's gone dead. There's nothing arrived at my door. He's got my address, everything, and I said, "Nah, this guy, he's played me. He's actually played me."
That is
And you
crazy.
haven't heard anything since?
Nothing since. And I said, "Oh, you know
No
what? I was
way.
even trying boots on in Sports Direct to make sure I got
I
the
know
right
you
size."
was. Someone told me. Someone told me when I went to Sports Direct to get my boots. Actually, someone said that you were in here with George Fowler trying on boots.
Exactly. I had to
I
make sure
said
they're
my
the right
boy.
size. See?
I said my boy was excited.
Wait, hang on. You went and bought your boots in person and got the wrong size. You
No, no, no,
You
no,
are
no,
so.
no.
Well,
No,
you're
no, no,
both
no.
not
It's not
switched
like
on.
no, no,
You
no,
just
no, no.
admitted to fraud on pod, which is crazy. By the way, you could
Nah.
actually get done. And I mean, don't even get me started on you, bro.
No, boys, let's
Hey,
not play stupid. We all like our boots slightly a bit tight. No, we don't like them that loose. I didn't anticipate that. It's the first time in my career where I've tried boots on for the first time and they've given me blisters around my toes. So it's something to obviously realize now with Preds. I didn't realize you had to go half a size up. But
Bro,
now
why didn't
that
you try them on in the place, or did
I
you?
did, bro, they fitted. To be fair, now
You just like crimp to the front like this.
no. It's the same boots. I actually got the studs. It's the molds that I've been wearing. So the studs were giving me the same problem. That's why I had to go and get the stretchers. So I
Okay.
need to stretch them out so it doesn't happen again when I put them on when we go to play on pitch, you know?
We also said this earlier. We were looking at like when you posted that TikTok going through your career. You have
Yeah.
tried so many different types of boots. You've had Vapors, you've had the
Yeah.
Phantoms, the Preds, Skechers. Like,
The
Yeah.
X's, the Aces, you've had
is
everything.
there anything
Had
on
everything.
for you or no?
No, I'm not really
Puma,
I'm not really I
Puma.
don't know. Would you be
Puma.
the Connor, I know you'd be Adidas. But so you'd try like
No.
you went from like Skechers,
Yeah, but
Nike.
I only tried Skechers because they basically stole them from Nike. They stole like the silhouette from Nike because the person moved from Nike to Skechers. So I was like,
Right.
they're actually going to fit similar to my foot. But I've always
Mhm.
been Skechers since I was about 14.
Yeah,
Has the Sketcher trend died off, do you reckon?
Nah, I think Skechers are really good, but the issue was when mine broke the same as yours. We can even put a picture of it here. When both of my pairs broke in exactly the same way. And when I spoke to the Skechers guy at a game, because he was like, "Oh, get the rest of the boys on the Skechers,"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, but mine they broke. They broke." And he was like, "Oh, yeah, they're the original ones. Like we had a problem with them. That's just like a manufacturing malfunction." And I was like, "Oh,
Right.
so can I get a free pair or whatever?" And he was like, "Oh, now we put a 6 month warranty on them instead of like a 2 year because it's a brand new product. We weren't too sure, and basically, good job we did. And then now they've like recreated it and changed the sole plate so they don't snap."
it's
Right, okay.
it's a non-league special seeing Skechers. Like, you see in the Prem, maybe like one player will have it. I played a game the other day. I think at least 4 players are wearing Skechers. I'm
Whereas
like,
when we played It's when we played. Was it have?
Albans.
No,
St.
was it have?
Albans.
Yeah.
St.
Yeah.
Albans, yeah, last
That's
year at
it.
home. I remember everyone was dripped out in the sketches
But that's
Yeah.
it.
because
That's
your
what I
man's
made
got
again.
the. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
It's
mine was the same, bro. I think I made a movement in training and just the whole soul split.
But I
I was
honestly
like,
thought I did my ankle or something because I went like
really?
over on it, and then like my whole boot like went, and I was like, oh my
Yeah,
god, what have I done here? And then I
yeah,
realized,
yeah, yeah.
bro, that's actually it was mental. So
it was your first day of
it
Maidstone
was my
training,
first
right?
day back at Maidstone, and it happened, and I didn't know what to do in small sided, and then I was like, Gaffer, what size foot are you? And he was like, 10. So I put Gaffer's shoe on. I can promise you now, George Elokobi's foot shape is very different to mine. I put these black Preds, tighten them as tight as I can, and they're still like falling off my foot. And then I ended up scoring a header. So I had one Skechers, one Predator. Ended up scoring a header, and he said, "It's in the boots. It's in the boots. You didn't have that in your locker before you put my boot on."
Well, as in Gaffer's got rid of the New Balances.
Yeah, the alarm New Balances are gone. He's got some Preds now.
Damn.
The
Gaffer's got rid of
OG
the Preds.
balances were crazy.
The New Balance.
Those black and gold New Balance.
You loved them.
That's when
You
Alarby got
loved
them for free, and Alarby said, "Oh, George, have these, man, have these."
And they were like a flipper. Like they had a really weird
Yeah.
like they would like they tailed off to one side. They weren't straight like
that's just
normal
Gaffer. Wait, Gaffer walks, unfortunately.
Yeah, he walks crazy. But yeah, Boney, going back to it, I'm probably equal between Nike and Adidas, but because my last school was Adidas, by the way, shout out to our equipment manager, TP. I think he gave me about 9 boots in the span of a year. I'm still living off those. And you know, it fit my foot really well. And
You're gonna get fired, see? Now
No.
I'm committing fraud, and you're about to get your boy fired.
Bro.
Two idiots on pod.
No, that's my boy's job. Don't worry. He's all good. I know he's not watching this, and it's very unlikely that anyone connected to the North Carolina State athletic department is, but you never know. But yeah, now I've got like special insoles after my ankle surgery, and I'll probably just have to wear them for the rest of my career unless I change insoles.
The Preds are lovely boys. As in the ones I have now. I know that obviously they gave me trouble with my toes last week, but I just love the shape of them. Like I'm weird like that. You see, when I put on a boot, I have to feel comfortable in that boot. Otherwise, my running style goes a little bit weird. The way I pass the ball. I don't know if you're the same, but my passing then changes. Are you like that or?
I was just gonna say though, were you like the type of person growing up where you would get your boots because of like the pros that were wearing them?
100% I would.
Yes, of course. Yeah, it's the power of social media and advertisement for sure.
Bro, I used to get the 11 Pros and I would be like, yeah, I'm Lampard. And I would try to
Literally.
Bro,
Literally.
I would get the Vapors. I would try to be fast. I would try to run people. Imagine me trying to run people down the way.
Bro, I'm the same as well. Like if I'm wearing gloves, like I start to trick myself into thinking, yeah, I've got a bit of flair here. Let me take a few extra touches.
Well, Terry
Swear to
Henry,
God.
That's why people wear the tape as well. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
it's like flare tapes, like make yourself feel like, you know what, yeah, I'm a player here.
I played
100%.
Yeah.
My boy Scotty Taylor at Duke played with that Benzema wrist strapping for 5 years.
I've noticed Ademola Lookman
Not
does that now,
Benzema.
actually.
Yeah.
Ademola Lookman does that. He has the tape on his hand now. It must just be
Feels
a
comfortable.
superstitious thing.
He's in a position where he is the trendsetter, you know? So
Yeah.
it's a bit
True.
different when he does it, right? Like
True.
people started doing it when Suarez was doing it as well. He's the trendsetter. He's not copying anyone. Scotty
That's true.
Taylor is copying someone.
He's a Duke trendsetter.
Yeah, facts.
Come here, what you boys saying? Conor, how are you, man? So we'll come on to you, bro, because you're what? Undefeated still. I saw that little video. We'll come on to that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Wait, me or Sol first?
You.
You go. You go.
Yeah,
Save the
we
best
had,
till last.
we had
Good boy.
Crazy.
I'm definitely cutting all this out.
Cut that out.
No, I won't. Yeah, we were supposed to have a game.
You won't cut it out like a good boy. Sorry.
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry, how many episodes did you edit? That was too cold. Little good boy. I've taken over though. From now on, I'm the
Yeah.
good boy. Damn it. It was we were supposed to have a game last Saturday against Dulwich, which I was really looking forward to. Like nice pitch, like 3,000 fans. but I think they sacked their manager during the week, and I think it
Our,
was
to be fair, our ex-manager.
yeah, Hack.
Hack.
Yeah,
So I think it was
yeah.
one of those where the game got called very early for a frozen pitch, about 24, 48 hours before. But no, it was yeah, we just did training this past week. Had a training and boxing session on
Oh
Saturday,
my God.
which was
How
interesting.
was the boxing? I haven't even really chatted to you about it.
You know what, boys? Like I went with Smithy. You had like a partner, and then there was this guy who I'll get his name, but he was a former like European champ. I don't know what
Cool.
weight class. He's quite short, so I assume like pretty lightweight, like a featherweight or
Hmm.
something. But yeah, we were basically boxing with our partners, and then he would call you in for about 30 seconds. You'd like punch the bag, and he's telling me like hook, jab, and I'm like, which one's which? And I ended up doing all right. So I was really proper feeling myself, and he's like, yeah, left hook. And I've gone, and right away my wrist just gets up, and I'm like, no way, there's no way I've just broken my wrist. So I'm like, okay, from here on out, no punches are being thrown. And then he put us through like a crate, probably boxed for 45 minutes, supposed to be there an hour. Then he put us through like a 15-minute upper body circuit. Jesus Christ, bro. It was insane. And like it's like one weight fits all. So like you have like Gailey who's massive, probably 95 kilos, like so strong, and me chest pressing and shoulder pressing the
Hmm.
same way.
That's
I
being
was
kind. That's being kind as well.
yeah,
95 kilos, I think that's
you
being
know
kind.
what though? I'm trying to do the math in my head. I can't really do it.
Yeah.
I would say
No.
like 210, 210
Yeah,
pounds.
maybe actually. Yeah.
Yeah. But oh, it wasn't going well for me.
Boxing training, boys, is a different level of fitness. So I used to do it when because Auntie Bella was a boxer, wasn't she? I remember going to,
Oh, so
yeah,
that's why
no,
you're a
I
hothead.
remember.
You used to do it with Andy Bell. That's why you're a hothead. That makes sense.
Hey, listen, you're not wrong. But I used to go to Elton and do boxing with her, and it's bro, like you'd be doing like a 20-minute run on the treadmill for your warm up at like 15 kilometers an hour. Like it's just crazy. And then you're doing circuits, and then you're doing the bags and the mittens and stuff. It's completely different fitness. You wake up the next morning, your back's in bits, your biceps, your triceps. Unbelievable what they do.
I used to absolutely hate it when I was a kid when they made us do like the boxing stuff because I had no upper body
Really.
strength and like
Yeah.
throwing pillows and then it just my arms just being absolute bits after absolute bits.
Hmm.
Like you,
Hmm.
my wrists. My wrists would just
Bro,
go all the time.
Yeah, you have to have the technique, otherwise you'll injure your hands for sure.
100%. Well, you
In
see all
fact,
the
hang
fighters.
on, we've got to put the VR set of that video I've got Harry Wood in the. Have you seen it?
I haven't
I
even seen
posted
it.
it to my
Oh my
story.
God, it's so good.
I'll go onto my
Oh,
story
I
and I'll
have.
put it up.
Yeah.
Bro, listen, let's just say if he got into a real fight, my boy would be cooked because that was a dodgy technique.
Hopefully he can run because
Yeah, no, that boy can run. That boy's fit.
he'll be in trouble.
But he's
Um,
fit.
That's good. Who is actually the fittest in pre-season? Who's like you've been like really impressed? Anyone been like
Ooh.
arms ahead or anything?
Look, I'm going to give you a cliche answer, but the way that, how intense it is here and stuff, like everyone's come back in unbelievable shape, boys. Like the fitness levels are top. But you do like this running thing called the Bronco. So you would have heard of it, right?
Oh, I hate the Broncos.
Yeah, yeah, the Bronco's tough now. I actually I haven't done one yet because it was sort of like monetized my session. But Harry Wood is like the one who's like bang, bang, bang. Like he gets in with the
What's
quickest
the time?
time. But
Oh, you
um,
might have to say after.
gee, boy, this is how intense. This is how unbelievably fit the boys are. Our one of our assistants, Davey McAllister. I played with Davey at Rovers. He was fit back in the day, but he does it as well. Just there, just beasting it, absolutely beasting it.
Have you done the Bronco?
Um,
So
no, I've
it's
never heard of it.
basically obviously a start line. There's a 20-meter line, 40-meter line, and a 60-meter, and you
Okay.
have to
mm,
go 20 back to the start, 40 back to the
mhm.
start, 60 back to the start,
Oh,
and then you do
okay.
that 5 times, and it's like
Yeah,
1,200 meters, and they say you
yeah,
have to get it in within like 4:30 to like 5. It's like a good like around there, and
yeah.
that's like that's like a 4-minute kilometer pace, but you have to turn. It's like 28 turns.
Mhm.
Yeah, the turning is the
The
hardest
turning
part.
is so hard, and you do
So
the first two aren't too bad. The first two actual like there and backs, whatever. When you get to the third
Yeah.
round, you're like, oh my legs. Fourth,
Hmm.
fifth are just surviving.
we had
Hmm.
at Duke the hardest fitness test of all time. It was I've never done anything like it. No matter how fit you are, you can't really beat it because of how short the time is. So it's 5 yards back, 10 yards back, 15, 20, 25 in 30 seconds, and then another group goes for 30 seconds, and then you go for 10 minutes straight. Oh my God. So if you were really fit, you were getting across in like 28 seconds. So like
Hmm.
we had people and you were expected to get 10. We had people that were like fit and starting for the team doing like 4. It
Really?
was I would be really fit. Like when we would do like the Man United fitness test, like I would always be like top 3 for that. But because it's like a pace and fitness, I
Yeah,
was
you have to be
never
quick for
able
that,
to
don't you?
yeah, I was never able to be like one of the top ones. I would be really fit, but come like 10th. It was so
Really.
difficult. It was just really hard on your body as well, the cutting.
Boys, I remember when I went to United on trial. Can't remember the
Well, hang
manager's
on,
name,
hang
but
on. Get that name up. Ooh, name drop. Ooh.
hey, listen, you got to try and get those viewers up, man.
That's
We'll
cold. That's
click
a
that
cold
bit.
line.
But we'd go out, and I remember the first day I got there, and we got onto the pitch, laced our boots up, and the manager was like this. He used to run outside of football. You'll know him. Everyone will know him. He's huge. He like developed Scholes, Giggsy, Beckham. Because he used to run outside of football, he was super fit. The minute he saw the last person that laced their boots up, he'd go, right, bang, let's go. You do a 2 kilometer run, 2 kilometer run. And I remember another name drop, Dean Henderson. He used to be at the front. No, I swear to God, he used to be at the front. And then that was just it. And then you'd go into the warm up and then you do like this really intense session. But that's what he used to do at the start of every for the week that I was there. Damn, that's crazy. It only lasted a week, but the week that we were there,
The
that I
best
was
week of
there,
your
son.
life.
So the 10 seasons I
Best
was
week.
there, the 10
But listen,
seasons.
but listen to this. Schweinsteiger got bombed down from Mourinho a week later and had to train with the 23s, and I just missed out on it.
I
No
saw that in
way.
the overlap. I
Yeah,
didn't realize you could have been in that team.
yeah, I could have been sure, but we had
They told
you
him
know
on his
Varela.
birthday as well. He went in and his
Oh, bro.
stuff wasn't in the changing room.
Oh, dog, could you
That is
imagine?
ruthless, man.
But we had who did we have? We had Varela in there. The Uruguayan right back.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was there. Scott McTominay was there. He was fit as well, create like super lean and stuff. Dean Henderson, like so many boards. Dimitri Mitchell, who we obviously know from
Oh,
Twitter.
yeah.
He's mad on
Yeah.
Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
But that was what we used to do, yeah. And then Bournemouth have got. So I remember speaking to you about it. Bournemouth one's intense as well, isn't it? Like a 1K time trial where you have to run up and down
That was
to
with
try and
Brentford
get it in.
how, right?
and Brentford.
Brentford,
Yeah, we had to go. It's basically these poles like 100 meters apart, and you have to basically just go there and back 10 times or whatever, and
really.
you just got to get in like under 3 minutes 15, I think.
Hmm.
That's the aim.
Boney,
So
Oh,
far,
yo,
what's the vibe like around the place now after winning? It seems like everyone's still like super motivated as well, which is
yeah, no.
exactly what you
Parked
want.
away, bro.
Yeah.
Parked away. That's done. Yeah, that's done. That's it
I can
now. We had
imagine
our.
though. Obviously, I'm not there, but I can imagine with the manager or like what
Mhm,
we see from Damien Duff, he wouldn't let
mhm.
people get carried away.
No,
Like he tap
no,
out
no,
immediately.
no, done. Like I don't want to obviously go too much into the of what's been happening, but yeah, no, that's everyone's mindset. Done. We've had our celebrations. We had, a few boys are off visiting schools and showing the trophy off, but yeah, that's it now. It's all parked and it's a fresh season, and that's it. You can't
Got to repeat it
let
again.
loose. You can't get complacent. If anything, you got to take your mindset now to another level. Standards are going to go up again. And that's, do you know what I mean? That's what we'll do for sure, man. Do you know what I mean?
What's
Pretty
not
generic answer, I know, but if you want to continue winning and you want to be at the top, the minute you get
But
complacent,
it's
done.
like what obviously comparing Shells to Man City is a bit different, but like when
Hmm.
Pep always says like the reason why the same players can't always just stay in the team, even if you might won the league 2 years in a row, You can't just
hmm
keep the same players because in case complacency comes, you have to keep on pushing
hmm
people and bringing new people in and testing
hmm
each other to really try and push that mentality to keep on
hmm
going.
hmm
And
We
I like the way the league is formatted for you guys actually.
mhm,
You have something to look forward to, but it's also in 4 months. So I'm sure over the
mhm,
offseason, everyone's thinking, okay, we have to prep well. This season's a massive season. We have champions,
mhm,
but it's not right
mhm,
away. So
mhm,
you'll reap the benefits in the league as well of that
mhm.
over preparation in the offseason.
That's what I mean, because you can sort of, I totally get you, because say, for example, if this was a summer league, well, because it's most boys' first time playing in the Champions League qualifiers, that's all that could be in their psyche, like, oh, I can't wait for that. And then you're sort of not putting your as much focus into the league. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Whereas now, like you said, Connor, we've got that in the summer. Our focus right now is getting through pre-season and then attacking the season at an intensity, you
No,
know?
100%. And because I was when I trained in the summer with Rolando Aarons, and obviously also
hmm
I'll get that one as well.
Connor, you're losing here, bro. You need to start
I
name dropping.
know. The thing is, if I name drop, it's gonna be like the same like four names over and over again. You won't know any of the MLS players. It'll be the ones that have come over to Europe. You can only say Brendan Aronson so many times on pod.
Go on, so.
Yeah, when I played with his cousin, that's a bit of a reach.
But obviously, I was training with him in the summer, and he went back into preseason like 4 weeks earlier than everyone else because his first game of the season or of the off season was a Champions League qualifier. So everything
Mhm,
he was doing was they were prepping basically on the board like for Champions League,
mhm,
Champions League, Champions League.
mhm,
So even though he just won the league the year
mhm.
before, they weren't even focusing on it at all because everything in their mind is Champions League, Champions League, Champions League.
Well, it's similar to us with the FA Cup. We
Yeah,
lost what? The game before Ipswich and the game before Coventry, we got battered. So, we can sort of try and fool ourselves into saying, nah, nah, our preparation was obviously for the league game before that. But obviously in the back of your mind, you're thinking,
get
I
through
don't
it.
want to get injured for this big game and that we got in a week's time, you know?
We were talking about that today.
Um,
Oh no, yesterday.
yeah,
Rafe getting sent off in the Slough game before Ipswich, and Kips didn't even know that Rafe was not going to be able to play until we got
yeah,
round. And he
yeah.
like shirt was up, all good, and then Gaffin in the team, and he was like, Rafe's not even on the bench. He didn't even understand
Mm.
that he was literally banned from the whole thing.
And didn't it
Oh,
come
I
from?
remember that.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
That's
like.
what I mean. It came from
We can even
Gibson's,
we
yeah.
can even find the clip. Basically, Rafe came on just after half time.
Oh, I forgot that soul. Yeah,
I think it's from kickoff. They play it long, and he like clattered someone late. Boom,
yeah.
yellow card. And then Kips was like doing something, dilly dallying on the ball. Tried to play it out to Rafe, left it short. Rafe was like flying through it because Rafe's just committed. That's just the way he plays.
hmm
Tried to
hmm
get there. Striker beats him to it. Boom, second yellow sent off. Tears, bless him. Like he was absolutely heartbroken, as you would be, because he's about to miss what he thought was the biggest game of his
hmm
career. Fortunately,
hmm
he managed to get through and he was able to play against Coventry.
Yeah.
But Paul Appiah, we played Aveley the game before Coventry. We lost 2-0 to them, and we lost to Slough. We lost 2-0 to Aveley, and he got two yellows, didn't he? And then he missed Coventry.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember, and it's funny you alluded to it actually in your video, which we'll talk about this week, saying how there's so much pressure playing for a club like Maidstone, even though it's in the sixth tier, like very like involved fan base and stuff. We've kind of felt like we were in a crisis heading into the fifth round of the FA
hmm
Cup. Like
hmm
the week leading up to that, like we were getting hammered by like the management and everything about like the
Yeah.
standards that we had to keep. If you really think about it, like that was probably the best week in the club's history. And until
hmm
the Friday, it was like, oh, like we're not in a good way here.
Now,
But I do remember it was quite tight though in and around that time. Like I'm nearly sure the playoffs from second to whatever it is, seventh or eighth. I'm nearly sure it was quite tight, wasn't it? There was a point where we dropped out because we had to play all our FA Cup games. I think there was a point where we were actually out of the playoffs, and then
there
we had
was,
to win our games in hand to get back in.
yeah, there was because like with bonuses and stuff, we missed out.
Yeah,
We played like two less games or three less games than everyone.
that's
It's
right.
really frustrating. And then the thing is, like the Aveley game was like a catch-up game. It was on a Monday.
hmm
Like
hmm
Gaffer was like, obviously the league's our bread and butter, and the
hmm
FA Cup is just a bit of an enjoyment. And even to be fair to Gaffer, he was just saying, just go out there and enjoy it. Like there's no pressure
Yeah,
whatsoever.
Yeah.
But it was like
of course.
you have to be able to do it in the league because we're trying to catch up to teams. And if we're
Yeah.
sacking off because of the FA Cup, then he'd rather we just weren't in the FA Cup.
Yeah. What about the non-league teams in FA Cup this time around? You know, Tamworth put up a great fight. That would have been, you know, I wanted them to do well, but that would have been probably the biggest upset in FA Cup history. The same
Yeah,
difference division-wise, but I mean, beating Spurs would have been such an
yeah.
issue.
Nah,
So
I
close.
I don't know about yous, but I was saying Tottenham, please score here.
No,
Please score.
Nah, to be honest,
I would never support Spurs, but
No, I was
wasn't
saying that
I'm
to
a bit selfish. I can't lie. I'm a bit selfish. I
yeah.
don't want anyone to get anywhere near as far as I can.
Not in the sorry, can't get my words up, but not in the how can I word
Recent
it?
history, not in
not in the
close to
near
us.
future. You don't
Yeah.
want it to
In the
happen.
near future.
There we are.
I was
Maybe when we
nowhere near
retire
to
and stuff, yeah.
yeah, exactly. But I was
Now
saying
it's so
to
different
John
as well. It's so different as well now because there's no FA Cup replays either.
mhm,
Make it so when we were late into the Ipswich and even in the Barrow game, we thought, man, this is a replay. We might go
yes,
up north or we got to play it on Tuesday. But I think it's definitely killed Tamworth a bit. They should have had a
100%.
but then
Well,
in the round before they did beat Burton on penalties.
Yeah.
But the way that Tamworth play and at home on a 4G, I'd actually bet that they'd give Burton a good game at home on a replay on Tuesday night because just like when Stevenage and Barrow came to us, it's horrible playing on a 4G when you're not used to it.
of course.
So hostile, I mean, so hard for them.
It's really a shame that they miss out financially of a big day at Spurs and all that. But I actually think at the end of 90 minutes, if you said to every Tamworth player, you could go to a replay right now or have extra time, they would have taken extra time. They had them on the ropes towards the end of the match.
There's no way.
No. But
There's no way.
They have such a better chance of beating them in extra time than they do away at Spurs. Obviously, you want the experience of going to Spurs.
But to be honest, like
I'm saying, just to win the football match,
here's the question.
They take extra time.
Here's a question then for you, Boney. Would you rather a third round of the FA Cup game away at Tottenham, or to have the run that we did in the FA Cup last year? So get the fifth round, but we lose. We don't play a Premier League team, or we have an away tie at Tottenham, but we lose.
I would pick the run that we had last year.
Yeah,
I agree.
I would pick the run that we had last year.
Unless it was a team that like you supported that you played in the
Yeah.
Spurs are such a big club. I don't really care about Spurs. Like that stadium, it's new.
I know.
It'd be cool to play there.
If I look at like Bromley away at Newcastle, like I think that's unbelievable, bro. Like
Unreal.
yeah, but people won't remember that in a year.
That's very true.
That's true, yeah.
That go to another big team.
I was kind of playing devil's advocate. I was just trying to.
That's very true. Yeah, that gets forgotten about.
Yeah, 100%.
But what we did, like I've said it a few times on pod, when we go to watch the FA Cup now, maybe in 3-4 years' time, it's always going to be at the start of the program, Sam Corn scoring against Ipswich as part of the little intro. You know,
what was actually mental was we were watching the draw the other day, and I was saying this is the fourth round. Like we actually won this round. We're still in. And if you look at all the teams, there's no non-league clubs even in the fourth round. Let alone we're the second division of non-league.
We're talking about red cards. Bivesh was suspended for the third round after getting us through the second round against Barrow. And it was like, what a shame. At least he had that moment. Because we thought we'd lose to Stevenage.
Yeah.
In
it happened every
game.
game.
Yeah. It would be like the day of. You'd be like, okay, like maybe we have a chance. I remember we went to bed, Boney, right before the Ipswich match when we shared the hotel room. And I was like, tomorrow. 100 times.
You're making it sound like up together.
All right, this is gonna get very much cut out. No, Bodie, when we were in the hotel. No, but I remember saying if we play Ipswich 100 times tomorrow, how many do we beat them? And I think you said 6. And we got quite lucky that it was one of those 6. But
honestly.
Yeah,
we had
the only game that I actually felt like, damn, we're actually going to win. I don't know why, but that Stevenage game, before the game, when we got in so early, I thought...
I knew we were going to win.
Yeah, we're actually going to win this.
I knew we were going to win.
Yeah.
I knew we were going to win.
Yeah, we were there like 2.5 hours before kickoff, and I said, I think we're actually just going to win this. Like everyone
honestly,
Everyone was so
Yeah,
focused, and
yeah.
obviously I was fucked with my ankle, whatever, my ankle, and
Mhm.
but I still felt like we're actually gonna win this game.
I was more I had the idea more against Stevenage than I did Barrow. Because Barrow was my first time playing against a Football League side. So I didn't really know what to expect. And
Bro,
then when we did
what
that,
about when there was the massive centre half who's played at Plymouth, like stretching in the corridor, and before games,
what's his
nah,
name?
nah, nah.
No, I know, it's like Canavan.
Anavan, bro.
Yeah.
So I always like to stretch in the corridor, whatever, just like to get on my
Yeah.
zone. I saw this guy come out to stretch, and I went, "Oh my god!" He looked like a
hmm
Greek god, like the size of him. And I was like,
hmm
"These players are different." Yeah, like that sounds a bit that yeah.
Pause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously,
I
even
get what you was trying to get at, but yeah,
they were
crazy.
just huge, and I was like, "This is like
Yeah.
the difference between non-league players and like full-time players." He's like
Yeah.
out and stuff. Yeah,
100%. But I think the I remember coming into the changing room. I remember sorry walking from Beth's to the ground. I remember seeing my dad on the way to the stadium and like his energy, how proud he was as well, like that his son was going to play in the FA Cup third round and stuff. And I just remember that gave me so much motivation. And when we come into the changing room, obviously we had to get there a little bit early, didn't we? Because it was sold out with traffic and stuff. The gaffer wanted us in like an hour before that. I remember you bringing great vibes, Connor, and that was actually
Yeah,
amazing
yeah.
from you because you found out that morning that you was going to have surgery.
Yeah, I didn't tell
Um,
anyone, and I was on the
yeah,
beach, so I was in my full kit.
yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember you changed into it, and it was just such good energy, boys, in the change room. And I know I'm a big believer in that. Like I'd be able to like sense the room and know if we're right or not. And I just knew once we got in and we were all so relaxed, so calm, like just ready to embrace it and give everything. I knew that we were going to win that game. I knew it.
do you reckon it's actually? Do you reckon it's a bit crazy that none of our like no one really got a really okay maybe
I thought this the other
Levi
day,
Levi went to
but he wasn't in that game.
no
He,
like
his last game for Maidstone was Barrow.
if you think about the teams that play so obviously this third round, fourth round, fifth round
hmm
nobody got like a crazy move
Yeah, I know.
to like the football league or anything no one at all
Yeah,
It
and like even
yeah, I
like,
was,
know.
this week like there's been like 22-year-olds 23-year-olds that are going from like
hmm
National North step
hmm
3 that at least go into like League One and League
hmm
Two no
yeah.
one from that team really got a big move did they
I
I
could understand that. Sorry, Connor. I could understand that if our league form wasn't as good, because
yeah.
then you could just say to yourself, well, it's obviously everyone, if everyone's to play in a big game, they're gonna play well. Like it's a huge game. You get yourself motivated for that easily. And they're just not out in the league, so they're inconsistent. But the fact that we were also doing one in the league as well, like we were backing that up as well, the FA Cup. Does that make
No one even got
sense?
like really murmurs of like, oh, you were gonna bring you in for pre-season. Like
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah,
happened like that at all.
I looked
yeah,
at the
nothing.
team on the 1 year anniversary because like Maidstone posted it, and I was like 3 or 4 guys from this got released.
hmm
No one really got a move. I think it could be the profile of players, though. I don't think anyone was super young.
Yeah.
And
True.
a couple of the boys have had chances in the EFL, and maybe it didn't work out, and that's why they've come to a
hmm
club in the National League South. So maybe that's why, but still, you would think even, Corny scored in every round up until the fifth
hmm
round. Like, I mean, again, I don't know the ins and the outs, but you would have thought at least like EFL clubs would be really
Yeah,
sniffing around. But
very true.
that's it's a team game at the end of the day, and that just is even more speaks to the fact of how impressive that run was. We didn't just like
hmm
rely on a single player the entire time that was a Jamie Vardy that should have been playing in the championship
Yeah.
and then the
hmm
Prem.
hmm
Yeah.
Forget that anyway, boys. The memories and the moments that we have. So, what are you like when you get asked about it? Because I'm sure you get asked about it on your TikTok lives. Because I'm the same.
Yeah, I have mixed emotions definitely. Like I
Mm,
said before in pod, the run was unbelievable, and especially Ipswich was probably the hardest day of my career because
hmm
selfishly I wanted to play and I couldn't play
hmm
because I was injured. And having started every single game in the FA Cup before that, like that's just really tough for me. But before that season, the furthest I'd ever got was the fourth qualifying round. So I've never even played in the first round proper. And actually, funny
Yeah,
enough, we're playing Chesham tomorrow, who'll be played in the first round proper.
yeah.
And
So,
I remember even playing there in the first round, and I was actually nervous for that game, thinking, "Wow, like we've got an opportunity to even go further because we're playing a team from a league below." Um, so just for me, I was just absolutely buzzing to even have the opportunity to play in such a prestigious cup. And
Yeah.
even for me, things like getting Wes Burns' shirt and getting Casey Palmer's shirt, they have like really made me still feel like, all right, I was actually still really part of it, even though I
Of
wasn't playing
course.
those days. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Well, if
no,
it wasn't like you're a huge part of it, because if it wasn't for your performance against Stevenage, we
yeah,
could say that perhaps we wouldn't have won that game.
no, of
And
course, of
Jacob's
course.
assist.
Jacobs is, yeah, oh, Jesus, the assist. Don't
The
get him
ref
started.
playing advantage for a penalty. A bit suspect, but yeah,
The ref giving me a yellow card for shouting at Liam's soul because he thought I was shouting at his linesman.
it's
But that's
too
the same
funny.
ref. We might even be
Unbelievable.
flipping. Steve, that ref, he was the one who I think it was Newport against Peterborough in the FA Cup,
Yes.
and Peterborough crossed it in. They scored,
Yeah.
no goal, and like no one really celebrates. It goes a bit funny, and they said, "Oh, it went out for a goal kick and it went underneath the net or something." And
Yeah.
the players are like, "What? It's gone in the near post."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you
But it
see
wasn't his fault
games,
though. It was his liner that sort of killed
Elano.
him.
you see games getting held up all the time, checking the net. It's like, all right, like let's get a move on, let's kick off. That's why they do it. That
Yeah.
is why they do it, for the 1 in a million chance that the ball actually goes through and you can't tell.
Hmm. But sorry, just going back as well, I remember being so happy when we beat Torquay because
Yeah.
it was my first year in the competition. And I just remember thinking, oh my God, like we're in the first round, that we can draw. For me, it would have been Gillingham or Charlton away. That was like my dream tie in that moment. I
I
just
think
thought,
it's
oh my
Bristol Rovers.
God,
I was like Bristol
of
Rovers,
course. Yeah,
like
of course.
a big League One, like a
Yeah,
Portsmouth was still in there, weren't they? And I was like,
exactly.
imagine that Portsmouth away.
Exactly.
That would have been so sick.
Yeah.
And then, Jesus, boys, to do what we did then after was crazy. But it's funny because when I go TikTok live now, that's like literally every other question. Oh, Sam, what the FA Cup, blah, blah, blah. And I love talking about it, obviously, because it brings back so many happy memories and stuff. But I hate it at the same time because it was just such a special moment. Like, I'd love to be
You know,
back in that moment. Does
realistically,
that make
realistically,
sense?
it's never going to happen again, which is like tough to
Like,
think about, isn't it? It's like,
yeah.
are we really going to ever get the opportunity to go that far?
I said that when Levi came on against Bromley, not to have, like a defeated mentality. And he's still young. He could go on to have an
Hmm.
unbelievable career, but I'm like, is it ever gonna get any better than that? Playing against your boyhood club at their stadium and an iconic stadium as well.
Hmm.
But then again, you could also think he can go to play at Wembley. He was on
Yeah,
the bench this past year when they were in the National League final. But they could maybe get promoted to League One through the playoffs, and you could go to Wembley. You'll be in
hmm.
Champions League qualifiers this year. There's still so
Exactly.
many, and that's why we keep playing the game. There's still so many better days ahead, even if
Exactly.
even if there's really not.
Yeah.